Welcome to the channel. This is a high mileage review on a 2014 Chrysler 300S. This 2014 Chrysler 300S has just over 260,000 miles on it, and we're going to take a walk around the outside and see how well it's fared. When Chrysler redesigned the 300 for this new generation, they kept a lot of the same body lines and a lot of the same overall look as the original one, but they really updated it in a nice way, just brought it into the modern world a little bit. As you can see, the paint has held up extremely well on this car. It shines, there's no fading to speak of. There's a few dings here and there, that's no fault of Chrysler's though. As you can see, there are no chrome issues either, no pitting or peeling, which was a common issue on the previous generation of 300s. As well as the wheels on this one, while they're not chrome, have held up very well. There's no peeling clear coat or any other issues to speak of. Some curb rash, but again, that's not Chrysler's fault. One common problem on the outside of these cars, as you can see on this headlight right here, is sometimes they let water in and creates a condensation issue, which can over time make your headlights look not quite as good as new, but that is a common problem across all of these newer Chrysler 300s. Now that we've taken our walk around the outside, let's start it up and see how it runs. As you can see here, the 3.6 liter engine sounds pretty good considering the age and miles. No real discernible ticks or anything like that. What you do hear though is the flex pipe running down under the driver's side right here under the engine is broken on this car and is creating a nasty exhaust leak. They are the same style flex pipes that they used on the previous generation in 300, which broke very frequently as well, so they still have not corrected that problem. Be sure to look out for that if you're in the market for one of these cars. The Chrysler 3.6 has actually proven to be quite a reliable motor. It has 292 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque from the factory, which are pretty respectable numbers for a V6. Other important things to note as we look under the hood here, the 3.6 in 2011 to 2013 Chrysler 300s did have a not common but occasional issue with rocker arms that caused a ticking noise. Chrysler actually extended the warranty up to 150,000 miles on those engines, so not a huge concern unless you're looking at something over that mileage. The transmission in these cars has proven to be pretty reliable. This particular one does have some hard shifts, which other people have noticed. However, in this one, I suspect it is more due to worn out transmission mounts and motor mounts than anything else. Overall, transmission failures are very uncommon in these cars. The other important thing to note under the hood, alternator problems were somewhat common, but Chrysler actually issued a recall for it, and most of those have been taken care of at this point. That pretty much covers the engine and transmission on the car. The only other thing really to talk about mechanically is steering and suspension components. The previous generation Chrysler 300 was plagued by terrible suspension components that wore out prematurely. Unfortunately, while slightly improved, this generation of Chrysler 300 does have the same problems that include premature tie rod, bushings, and all the other suspension components wearing out. Now that we've covered what's under the hood, let's take a look inside. As we take a look here at the dash, you'll notice that Chrysler vastly improved the interior over the previous generation 300. While not a extreme luxury car on the inside by any standards, they definitely upped the quality of all the components on the inside and really made wear and tear improvements as well. As you can see, the door panels have held up well with no real fading or any other issues. Just a little dirt there on that one, but the seats are also in excellent condition. No rips or tears after 260,000 miles. The only spot I really noticed of wear on the interior was actually on the steering wheel. As you can see that some of the leather on it is starting to show its age. Back seat room is plentiful in these cars, and really one of the last large American sedans out there for you to be able to buy. All the electronics on this car still function exactly as intended. All the windows go up and down, heated seats, AC, heat, cruise control, all of those things still function as intended. One of the most common issues though with these cars is the heat actuator, which controls your switching from hot to cold for all your climate control. That's a really common problem and one to definitely look out for if you're in the market for one of these cars. The other common issue is Uconnect. Uconnect is Chrysler's version of their infotainment system. It actually works excellent on this car, but I know some people have had issues with it freezing up, problems with updates.
etc., that are something to look out for as well. This particular car is not equipped with a backup camera, but backup camera issues are a big problem, especially on these earlier Chrysler 300s. They get a scrambled picture on the screen for when you go to back up, but it's actually an easily solved problem most of the time, and just a loose wire to the camera inside the trunk.
So now we've come towards the end of the review, and it's time to decide whether this car is a buy or a bust. And honestly, this car is a buy. You're probably surprised because Chrysler isn't known for reliability, but these Chrysler 300s have actually been proven to be quite reliable. If you look up any reviews for these online, you'll see that they're rated somewhere between 4.6 and 4.8 out of 5. That's a pretty crazy high rating for almost any car. The 3.6 liter engine and the transmission in these has also proven to be quite reliable, which was a problem for Chrysler some years ago. The engine actually on these cars is also surprisingly fuel efficient. I averaged my miles per gallon when we brought it home, and it averaged 31.8 miles to the gallon on about a 3-hour drive. It was all highway, but with 260,000 miles, there's definitely nothing wrong with those numbers. If you're in the market for these, you'll notice that ones with higher mileage, which was what we're talking about here today, run somewhere in the $6,500 to $8,000 mark. That's a pretty good deal considering how much these cars offer. As any used car that you're looking at, definitely take it to a mechanic, have them check it out first. They'll be able to highlight a lot more issues than I can in this short video. These are just some of the common things to look out with this particular car. If you have any questions at all or any comments, please leave them down below. I'd be happy to hear them. If I missed any big issues with these, please leave that down below as well. I'll pin it and make sure that everybody sees them. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.